Jeremy's world was turned upside down when he realized that the life he had built with his wife, Victoria, was nothing but an illusion. For years, he had worked tirelessly in construction to support his family. But over time, he began to notice a troubling change in Victoria's behavior. Whenever Jeremy had a day off or returned home earlier than expected, Victoria would find an excuse to leave the house, often rushing out with an air of urgency. At first, Jeremy tried to rationalize her actions, thinking that her freelance work allowed for a flexible schedule or that she simply preferred working outside the home. However, as the pattern became more pronounced, he couldn't help but question what she was doing when he wasn't around. Jeremy's suspicions grew, and he decided to test Victoria's loyalty. One evening, he told her that he had lost his job and that their savings had been wiped out by a bad investment. In reality, their savings were intact, but Jeremy wanted to see how his wife would react to the news of their financial troubles. Her response was chilling. There was no concern or empathy, just a cold, indifferent look as she asked, "And what do you want me to do about it?" This moment was a turning point for Jeremy, as he realized that Victoria's feelings for him were purely transactional, hinging solely on his ability to provide for the family. From that point on, Victoria's true colors began to emerge. She treated Jeremy as if he were beneath her, leaving the house at will and providing little information about her whereabouts. When she was home, it felt as if Jeremy didn't exist, except when she needed something for their child. Jeremy continued to play along, allowing Victoria to believe that he was struggling financially. He knew that the moment she thought he could no longer fulfill his role as a provider, all respect for him would vanish. And that's exactly what happened. Victoria became increasingly irritable and dismissive, making it clear that she resented every dime she contributed to the household. Months later, Victoria delivered a shocking revelation. She was pregnant, but the child was not Jeremy's. Unfazed, Jeremy revealed that he had already obtained paternity tests for their 3-year-old child, which showed that he was not the father either. This revelation left Victoria stunned and panicked, as she realized that her deception had been exposed. Jeremy then informed Victoria that he had already made arrangements to leave the country for a new construction deal overseas, and that her confession had only made his decision easier. Desperate, Victoria tried to appeal to Jeremy's emotions, reminding him of their shared history and claiming that their family was worth saving. But Jeremy saw through her act. He knew that she was not motivated by love, but by fear of losing his financial support. In the end, Jeremy made a quiet and deliberate exit, leaving Victoria to face the consequences of her actions. He had no intention of allowing her to complicate his departure or trap him in a life he no longer wanted. As the plane took off, Jeremy felt a sense of peace and freedom, knowing that he had shed the version of himself that once believed love meant sacrificing dignity. Jeremy's story serves as a cautionary tale for men who find themselves in similar situations, trapped in marriages where their worth is solely tied to their ability to provide. The key lesson is to recognize that love that only exists when you're useful is not love at all, but a transaction. Once you see it for what it is, you'll stop feeling the need to convince her to stay. Instead, plan, protect yourself, and move on. The second you demonstrate that you can live without her is when she will suddenly want to fight for marriage, but by then it won't matter, because you'll already be gone.